Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Yeah. Happy birthday. Hey now. I think last week the topic was thrown out of most embarrassing moment of recent days, which I don't really have any embarrassing stories of recent days because I don't get out much, so that does lower the embarrassment threshold. I will just share with you my most embarrassing moment of all time. I was 16 and I was going to a birthday party of a girl I went to camp with. I didn't know her very well. We kind of hung out a little bit after camp, but I really didn't know her all that well, and she invited me to her birthday, which was her sweet 16, and it was going to be a big to-do, and I agreed to go, reluctantly agreed to go, but I did. And I only knew her. I didn't know any of her other friends. So it was a big step for me to go to a party where I only knew the one person. Anyway, I went. It was not close to my house. I had to drive, I don't know, it was in another little town, which was stressful enough being 16, driving, it's only like 20 minutes away. But when you're 16, driving new, it can be a little stressful driving to someplace new. I didn't know where I was going. So I was a little late to the party because I think I got lost. And it was at a hotel. Like in one of the ballrooms or something, and I had a bit of trouble just getting through the hotel, trying to figure out where it was in there. So it just kept getting later and later as I searched for the party, and I finally found it. I asked someone, and they said it's in this ballroom or whatever. So I went in, and I opened the door, walked in, and I guess there were several entrances because I walked in right where this jazz singers group was singing. So I kind of like walked in on stage, which in and of itself was a little embarrassing because the party was in full swing at that point, and the singers were singing and whatnot, and it was a whole crew of people. There was a band and there were multiple singers and whatever. So yeah, it was a whole big thing. And so once I opened the door and you're right there, there's no turning back at that point. So I was like, well, I gotta suck it up, and I tried to go back around and not through the performance. So I started to maneuver around all the audio equipment, and I tripped. Nice, also, right? So I stumbled, and there was the tables was set. It was like one big long table. It was a U-shaped, and she was at the top of the U, and the only seat was really at the end, which was fine. So I sat down, and the lead vocalist stepped up to do her little part, and my cookies are ready, and the microphone wasn't working. Well, it turns out when I tripped, I unplugged the mic for the solo part of the group. And when someone said, oh no, someone unplugged the mic, everyone, singers, band, everyone in the party swung around and stared at me since I was the one who tripped over something. So that was good times right there. I wanted to just die right there. I would bursting into flames would have been more fun. It was awful. And because the performance was going on, there was no mingling. You're just sitting there, and I'm sitting next to someone I don't even know, and they're not talking to me because I was late, and I don't know. It was a whole weird thing. When the band quit playing, I walked up and said hello, and she never really, we talked, but she was so busy with her party, which was fine. It was her party. But I really just sat there until it was time to go and left. It was horrible. Horrible.